Good morning. This is Sujata, Assistant Professor in Botany, Women's Degree College, Karimnagar. Today, I am going to give a lecture on nitrogen metabolism. Nitrogen metabolism is the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere and the nitrogenous compounds which are present in the soil are converted by nitrification, nitrogen fixation into substances which are utilized by the plants. Later they have to return to the air and soil as a result of denitrification and plant decay. So these total sequences all comes under nitrogen metabolism. So what is the importance of nitrogen? Nitrogen, it is an essential element for plants and animals. So it is required for the plants for growth and many activities of plants. It is an important constituent of amino acids, enzymes, proteins, vitamins, alkaloids, and growth hormones. The nitrogen metabolism, it includes the two stages, that is nitrogen fixation and synthesis and breakdown of amino acids. This is nitrogen cycle, how the nitrogen from the atmosphere to soil and soil to atmosphere. It is, if we show these all reactions, it looks like a cycle-like structure. So, this is nitrogen cycle. In nitrogen cycle, there are some steps are there, mainly for nitrogen fixation, ammonification, nitrification, and denitrification. So, first to nitrogen in the atmosphere, it is present nearly 78% nitrogen, but this 78% nitrogen that is in the form of N2. So this atmospheric nitrogen plants, they cannot utilize. This nitrogen compulsory convert into ammonia or nitrates. So the plants can absorb nitrogen in the form of ammonia or nitrates only. So first the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere in gaseous form, nearly 78%. So this nitrogen first has to fix by the microbes, that is bacteria, some bacteria and blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria. So the nitrogen cycle primarily a result of microbial metabolism of nitrogen compounds, involves a series of events around nitrogen of the soil and the atmosphere. So the first is nitrogen fixation, which is present in the atmosphere in gaseous state. It has to be fixed. So this nitrogen fixation takes place by two methods, that is physical method and biological method. So in biological method, the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere is fixed by different types of prokaryotic microorganisms. There may be free living or symbiotic microorganisms. Symbiotic bacteria like Rhizobium or Frankia, which are associated with leguminaceae roots, and some free living bacteria. So with the help of these all bacteria, in this bacteria the enzyme nitrogenase is present. With the help of this nitrogenase enzyme, these bacteria they fix the nitrogen into ammonia. So this is called the nitrogen fixation. So the gaseous nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere is fixed by biological method or physical method. In physical method, the nitrogen converts into the nitrates, and in biological method, nitrogen converts into the ammonia. So next step in the nitrogen cycle is the ammonification. Ammonification means the conversion of amino acids into ammonia. So the nitrogen which is fixed by the bacteria, it is taken by plants. So the nitrogen, the plants, they utilize their metabolism. It's become a main constant in amino acids, vitamins, enzymes. So when the animals feed plants, so these nitrogen, which is main constant of plants, it goes to animals also. So the plants and animals, these now both consist of the nitrogen in their different substances. So in amino acid form. So the amino acids which are present in the plants and animals, when these plants and animals die, the dead organic material of these plants and animals, when they convert, when they decompose by decomposing bacteria, so the amino acids which are present in the plants and animals converts into the ammonia. So the conversion of these amino acids which are present in the plants and animals, that is when they dead, these amino acids converts into ammonia by decomposing bacteria. So the conversion of these amino acids into the ammonia is called as the ammonification. This process is called as the ammonification. The next step is the nitrification. Nitrification means that the ammonia, it oxidized by microorganisms. The oxidation of ammonia into nitrate by microorganisms is called as nitrification. So nitrification means the oxidation of ammonia into nitrates by microorganisms is called as nitrification. First, the ammonia which is present in the soil, which is produced by the decomposing bacteria, so which is present in the soil, this ammonia first oxidized into nitrite, that is NO2 by Nitrosomonas bacteria. So first the ammonia, it converts into the nitrite by Nitrosomonas bacteria. Next, these nitrite converts into nitrate. This nitrate again oxidized into nitrate ions by Nitrobacter bacteria. So the ammonia here converting or oxidizing into nitrate. So this process we called nitrification. So in nitrification, which microbes are involving? Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter. So these nitrates which are converted by these Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter now are ready to plants to absorb. So these nitrates which are present in the soil, it takes by the plants, dissolved in the water, soluble in the water, and they are ready to absorb the plant. They are ready to absorbed by plants. So some of these nitrates have to convert into again nitrogen. Otherwise the nitrogen cycle does not complete. So these nitrates, some of the nitrates which are present in the soil, again converts into nitrogen. So the conversion of the nitrogen compounds. Here nitrogen compounds means nitrates, they convert into nitrogen. So this process we called as denitrification. Denitrification. So this denitrification is occurred by Thiobacillus denitrificans bacteria. The Thiobacillus denitrificans bacteria, it converts the nitrates into nitrogen, and this nitrogen goes to the atmosphere. So this process called as the denitrification. So this is the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere in the gaseous phase comes to the fixed by the bacteria, and it goes to the plants and animals. When the plants and animals die, the dead material again decomposes by the decomposers and change into the ammonia, and next this ammonia again it converts into the nitrates, then nitrates again it converts into the, some of the nitrates converts into the nitrogen by denitrifying bacteria at Thiobacillus denitrificans. So nitrogen fixation. Here the nitrogen fixation, it is, what is the nitrogen fixation? The molecular nitrogen which is present in the air, it converts into the nitrogen compounds in the soil. Okay, so this nitrogen fixation takes place by two ways. One is physical nitrogen fixation and next one is the biological nitrogen fixation. But in physical nitrogen fixation, nitrogen is reduced to nitrates without involvement of any microbes. So during the lightning and thunderstorms, heavy gases nitrogen of atmosphere get oxidized. Here the equations are there, how the nitrogen it converts into the nitrates. So first the nitrogen oxidized to nitric oxide. Then this nitric oxide again oxidized to nitrogen dioxide. When this nitrogen dioxide dissolves or combines with water, that is rain, with rain, the water which is coming from rain, so it combines the nitrogen dioxide when it combined with water and converts it to nitric or nitrous acids. These nitric or nitrous acids, when they reach to the soil and when they combine with the basic radicals and form the nitrates. So the formation of these nitrates in physical fixation. Then biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation, here the reduction of the molecular nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, it converts into the ammonia by living organisms called biological nitrogen fixation. So in this biological nitrogen fixation, the microbes are utilized. These microbes are bacteria and cyanobacteria, some fungi, etc. So this biological nitrogen fixation we can discuss under the three categories. That is, first one is the free living or asymbiotic nitrogen fixation. Second one is the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Third one is the associative symbiosis. So free living nitrogen fixation. Here free living means there is no symbiosis. The microorganisms, they are living freely, both aerobic and anaerobic bacteria and blue-green algae which are present in the soil. They can capable of fixing molecular nitrogen into ammonia. In this free living, there are some examples also there, bacterial. In bacteria also there are some aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic species are Chlorophobum bacillus species, and anaerobic bacteria that is belongs to free living stage, Clostridium, etc. Next, symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Symbiotic means here the microbes live in association with other organisms. So they fix the nitrogen symbiotically. Example, that is main example is the association of Rhizobium bacteria with root nodules of Leguminaceae plant. This is the common type of symbiosis. And there are the symbiosis, that is Leguminaceae plants are there and non-Leguminaceae plants also there. In Leguminaceae plants, the Rhizobium bacteria, it lives in root of Leguminaceae plant and fix the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. And some of the non-legumes also there. These non-legumes are some Frankia species. The Frankia species, these are non-leguminaceae plant, but these also fix the atmospheric nitrogen in symbiosis method. Third one is the associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Some bacteria, example Azospirillum, they live in close association with the roots of certain cereals and grasses. Then they fix the nitrogen. So these Azospirillum, they live where they live. They close association with the roots of certain cereals and grasses and fix nitrogen. So in this association, microorganisms, that is the bacteria, grow under the influence of plant. So this is called the associative symbiosis. Associative symbiosis. And the nitrogen fixation through this process is called as associative nitrogen fixation. Associative nitrogen fixation. Example, Acetobacteria phospholi. So the biological nitrogen fixation. This biological nitrogen fixation takes by microbes, that is bacteria. So what is the mechanism? The mechanism of the biological nitrogen fixation. Here the atmospheric nitrogen, that is which is in gaseous stage, that is N2. It reduces to ammonia. It is reduces to ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. So this nitrogenase enzyme is not present in higher plants. So that's why the higher plants, they can't utilize the nitrogen. Compulsory the nitrogen, it converts into the nitrates or ammonia. So the nitrogenase enzyme, it is present only in prokaryotic cells, that is bacteria and cyanobacteria. So these nitrogenase enzyme only capable to convert the nitrogen into ammonia. So the nitrogenase enzyme which is present in the prokaryotic cells, this enzyme is produced by the NIF genes. So the control of these nitrogenase enzyme is under the NIF genes. So this nitrogenase enzyme which is present in the prokaryotic cell, it consists of the two proteins. It consists of the two proteins. One is iron molybdenum protein and next one is iron protein. So this nitrogenase enzyme, it is sensitive to oxygen. It is sensitive to oxygen. In the nodules of the legume plant, there is a pink substance is there that is called leg hemoglobin. So this leg hemoglobin, it protects the nitrogenase enzyme from oxygen, because the rhizobium bacteria, it is aerobic bacteria. It needs oxygen for its respiration. But this nitrogenase enzyme, when it gets more oxygen, it is very sensitive. It can't tolerate. So this leg hemoglobin, which is present in the nodules of the legume plant, it protects. It only takes less oxygen, which is how much need for the rhizobium bacteria, which is necessary for the respiration of rhizobium bacteria, and it protects the nitrogenase enzyme from the oxygen. So this is the structure of this nitrogenase enzyme. This nitrogenase enzyme, it is consists of proteins. That is one iron and protein, there is dimer, and second protein is the molybdenum iron protein, tetramer. Nodule formation. So nodule formation in leguminous plants, the rhizobium bacteria, it forms the nodules. It forms the nodules. So how the nodule formation takes place? When the interaction between the bacteria and the host root. Here host is legume plants. Then the nodule formation takes place. So the multiplication and colonization of rhizobia and the characteristic curling of root hairs and invasion of the bacteria. So when the bacteria reaches the root hairs of legume plant, then the host, that is the legume plant, it secretes some amino acids and flavonoids. Due to these substances, amino acids and flavonoids, the bacteria attract to the host root hairs. Then they reach near the root hair. Then the host, it also produces some lectins. It is the one type of protein. With the help of these proteins, the host, it identifies the rhizobium bacteria. This is the image of the nodulation process. So in the first image, here is the root hairs of the legume plant, and around the legume plant there are soil particles are there and bacteria also there. So the root hair of the legume plant, it secretes some amino acids, flavonoids, sugars. So due to these substances, the bacteria attract to the root hairs and they gather around the root hair. In the next image, then the multiplication of the rhizobium bacteria takes place at the outside of the root hair, that is in the soil, and they reach near the root hair. Then these rhizobium bacteria, they secrete one type of factor, that is curling factor. Due to this secretion of curling factor by the bacteria, the root hair, it shows curling. So this curling, it looks like a hook-like structure. This we called as shepherd's crook. Shepherd's crook. And next, this bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, it secretes some cellulase and pectinase. These cellulase and pectinase, they degrade the cell wall of host. Then the cell wall degraded. Then this rhizobium bacteria enters near the plasma membrane. Next, at this stage, the plasma membrane of the host, it shows invagination. It invaginated. Due to this invagination of plasma membrane, a thread-like structure produced. So this thread-like structure is called as infection thread. Infection thread. Then this bacteria enters into this infection thread. This infection thread, it extends into cortex. So there, through this infection thread, the bacteria enters into the cortex. Then in the cortex, then the phytohormone secretion takes place. Then the nodule formation takes place by rapid cell division. In the cells, that is in the nodule, the rhizobium bacteria, it becomes bacteroid. And then they have the active enzyme, that is dinitrogenase enzyme. And this host, it forms a layer around the bacteroids. This layer we called as peribacteroid layer or peribacteroid membrane. This peribacteroid membrane is produced by the host around the rhizobium bacteria. So after the growth, maturation of this nodule, then it form connection with the phloem, that is circulatory system. Then it takes the food from the host. So this is the formation of nodules in leguminaceae plants. So next, mechanism of the biological nitrogen fixation. So the nitrogen, the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, it is reduced by the addition of hydrogen bonds. So the triple bond which is present between the nitrogen atoms break and ammonia formation takes place. This nitrogen fixation, it requires three components. Nitrogen fixation, it requires three components. One is a strong reducing agent. Because compulsory nitrogen has to be reduced to ammonia. So for this fixation, compulsory reducing agent is needed. So reducing agent, it may be NADPH2 or FADH2 or NADH2. Any one compulsory need for the reduction of nitrogen to ammonia. And next, another component is the ATP. ATP is to transfer the hydrogen atom to dinitrogen. ATP, it transfers the hydrogen atom to the dinitrogen. From this ATP, it is utilized from the respiration and photosynthesis. Third one is the nitrogenase enzyme. Which is present only in prokaryotic cells, that is bacteria and cyanobacteria, some fungi. Okay, so these three components, that is reducing agent NADPH2 and NADP or FADH2, and second one is the ATP, and next one is the nitrogenase enzyme. So these three are essential for the biological nitrogen fixation, that is the reduction of the nitrogen to ammonia. So the overall reaction in biological nitrogen fixation is, there is a nitrogen N2 plus 8 protons. Next it need for the reduction 8 electrons and 16 ATP. So the products are the ammonia and hydrogen and 16 ADP plus phosphate. So this is the overall reaction of nitrogen fixation, that is biological nitrogen fixation. Next is the synthesis of amino acids. This synthesis of amino acids takes place by two methods. One is reductive method and second one is transamination. First one is reductive method and next one is transamination. So first method for the synthesis of amino acid is the reductive method, that is reductive amination. Here, what is the reductive amination? Here, amino acids may be synthesized from the keto organic acid, that is example pyruvic acid or oxaloacetic acid. So these acids, that is the pyruvic acid or alpha keto acid, these are the intermediates of Krebs cycle. So in this reductive amination, the organic acid, it reacts with ammonia. Organic acid reacts with ammonia. Here in the image you see alpha ketoglutaric acid. Alpha ketoglutaric acid is organic acid. It is intermediate of Krebs cycle. It reacts with ammonia. And the amination is coupled with the reduction of organic acid in the presence of reduced coenzyme. Here coenzyme, what is the coenzyme? NADH2. Here the alpha ketoglutaric acid, it combines with, reacts with ammonia. Here the reducing agent is NADH2. NADH2 and it forms the glutamic acid, that is the amino acid. So it is the reductive amination method. And second one is the transamination. Transamination means that is the transfer of amino group of an amino acid to keto acid. Here the transfer of amino group takes place from amino acid to keto acid. Here in the example you see glutamic acid, it is the amino acid. And second one is the oxaloacetic acid. So here the transfer of the amino acid from the glutamic acid to oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid, it is the keto acid. So when the transfer of the amino group from the glutamic acid to oxaloacetic acid takes place, then a new amino acid taking place. Here the new amino acid, that is what? Aspartic acid. Aspartic acid. So the transfer of amino group of an amino acid to keto acid is called as transamination. Due to this transfer of the amino group from amino acid to keto group, there is a new amino acid formation takes place. Okay. So in this process, the amino group of amino acid is transferred to organic acid. Here organic acid, that is what? Oxaloacetic acid. And resulting in the formation of a new amino acid, and the original amino acid is converted to organic acid. Okay, here the organic is alpha ketoglutaric acid, organic acid, and new amino acid is the aspartic acid. In the next example, glutamic acid. Here the amino acid, pyruvic acid is the keto acid. So then the transfer of the amino group from the glutamic acid to pyruvic acid, and it forms the alanine. It is the amino acid, new amino acid. Next, the alpha ketoglutaric acid. This is the another conversion of acid. And next way is the GS, that is GO-GAT pathway. GO-GAT pathway. This is also a way of ammonia. Involves two enzymes. Here the synthesis of, this is also a way of ammonia assimilation, but in this way there are two enzymes are participating. Two enzymes are participating. One is GS. GS means glutamine synthetase. GS means glutamine synthetase. And next enzyme is GO-GAT. GO-GAT means glutamate to oxoglutarate amino transferase. So with the help of these two enzymes. Here the glutamic acid, it is converts into the glutamine. Here in the first step, the glutamine synthetase first, that is GS, the glutamine synthetase converts the glutamic acid to glutamine. The first step, what is the first equation? The glutamine synthetase GS, it converts the glutamic acid to glutamine. That is, the glutamic acid combines with ammonia and it takes the ATP, and with the help of the GS, glutamic synthetase, it converts the glutamine. So in the first step, what is the first step? The glutamine synthetase converts the glutamic acid to glutamine. In the next step, that is the second enzyme GOGAT, it converts the glutamine to glutamic acid. It converts the glutamine to glutamic acid. So the GS and GOGAT pathway is 1 ATP for glutamate found, but the benefit is rapid assimilation of ammonia. In this way, the rapid assimilation of ammonia takes place. Next, amide formation. In the amide formation, that is next, third one is the amide form, that is breakdown of the amino acids. So in plants, that is the amide formation, that is the breakdown of the amino acids takes place. Here the amide is formed by the substitution of the amino group in place of hydroxyl group of carboxyl group. Here the substitution of the amino group, where the substitution takes place in the place of OH group of carboxyl group. Amino groups comes and it will substitute at the place of the OH, which is present in the carboxylic group. So this type of reaction is called the amidation. So this, after the formation of the amides, the transportation of these assimilated nitrogen through xylem occurs mainly in the form of amides. So these amides are more stable than the amino acids and possess high nitrogen to carbon ratio. So after the formation of these amides are transported through xylem. So amides are more stable. Okay. Thank you.